Rudely interrupted by Rafa. Oh yeah, so a slight smile on your face, that's all you have to do. Every time that you lose it when you're doing the non-surgical here, you got in your head and you believe that thing that they said, you will never become anything. It's not true. It's not true. And you can make it not true. When you do this work, no offense to all you massage therapists, just remember something. As soon as I got out of school, I went and got my RMT license, which as soon as I got done 2 years of school, I briskly ripped it up, would not pay any dues, and I made my own technique, and I'll tell you why. How's that feel? Oh, wait a minute, here, let me get that knot. Gotta hold it here, okay? Is the pain going away? Okay, that should be it, that's good. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
No.
It's hard for her to say, right? Can't choke that down. But guess what? The information that she learned is gonna help her. So everything that you do in life was a stepping stairs. Don't look back and say it was a waste of time. It wasn't a waste of time. But I will tell you, when I was in school, okay, all right, for those 2 years, microbiology, pathology, guess what I would do? So, just so you know, just before I went to get my RMT license, my best friend was about 3 years older than me, and he was a hairdresser, and I saw the movie Shampoo, and I also know all the girls that he was going out with, so I wanted to become a hairdresser. So I went to become a hairdresser, and by the time I was done the hairdressing, I came in, and for 4 months, I was actually pretending to be a hairdresser. And yes, it worked out. There was lots of nights I didn't get home to change my clothes the next day, and I just said, God, if this is my life, shoot me. Anyway, just thought I'd throw that in. But that wasn't very long. That was only a 9-month course, right? Okay. So, you know, it didn't take me off a course. You know, I had fun, okay? We all grow up someday. So anyways, what happened was, so the 2 years in college, what I did is as soon as they do pathology, microbiology, and all this stuff, you know what it was like. It was grueling sitting there. So the reality is there was a graveyard, okay, cemetery. And what I would do is I remember Walkman, the yellow Walkman, okay, with the cassettes. Okay, well I'd go in there, and believe it or not, I'd go there and it would just be me. Well, there's other people, but they didn't bother me, okay? And I would, that was disco time, right? Yeah, okay. So I would dance until I felt really good. You know, maybe dance for 20 minutes by myself, you know, a little bit of that. And then I would just settle down, and then I would study. So, because I went to hairdressing school, the girl who had the best writing in the class, I told her I would cut her hair and her husband's hair, and I also bought them both 2 bicycles. So now I never had to take notes. Life is for the hacking. Life is for those who want to strategize. So everybody thought that I was out lazy. We go to do our exams, okay? I was in and out. I was out of the exam room faster than almost anyone. And you know, you always have the groups in class, right? Study group, where everybody gets together and study. Nope. Not doing that. So I never did it, so guess what? So I was in and out really fast. People that really were intense, right? They failed. They actually went to the board of directors and said that I must have cheated somehow. So they actually pulled me in. I go, really? Is this what we're gonna do? So they actually tested me right there to see if I knew this stuff. So understand something, be different, hack the system, stay centered, don't follow the herd, don't care what anybody else is doing. If Sage says this person's got the knack and they're grooving it on, watch them. Don't look at anybody else. Don't look at anybody else if they're looking at you. The biggest judge that you're ever going to have is your subconscious, that doesn't want you to fail or succeed. It just wants you to sit here. It doesn't want you to change. All right? The fear of success is number one. Did you know that? A study they did? A fear of success is number one. Okay? Does anybody know number two? No, public speaking. People would rather die than speak. So people would rather die than roll the dice, than take a risk. So you need to take a risk every day. Do I risk every day? Do I kind of stir the pot a little bit? But remember, when I'm stirring the pot out here, I'm stirring it in here. I will never be enough. I didn't say I will never have enough. I said I will never be enough because I know that I have unlimited potential. I was created to create. What are you going to do today that scares you, Simran? If you're not doing something that scares you every day, then you are not expanding. Now, I didn't say just scare you, because guess what? It needs to scare you, but it needs to excite you. And remember something, if something excites you, 3, 2, 1, I got this. Right away. Because if something scares you a little, your subconscious loves that. If it excites you a lot, oh my God, that's a big change coming. Your subconscious is only there for one thing, to stop you from changing. And this is why I say, that part was manipulated by man. Not totally were we created by our Creator in that way, that fashion. Seriously. But guess what? It makes for an interesting game, doesn't it? I like the game because I won. I am not scared of anything. I'm not talking about I will jump off a cliff and I won't die. I love myself. Remember, if you love, honor, and respect yourself and you're not scared of anything, you are protecting yourself and not doing things that we might call stupid. And the reality is this, I'm not going to do what you want me to do. I'm going to do what I love. I'm not going to do anything to get anybody's approval on this planet. Nobody's. I'm not going to take anything personal when the majority think, okay, that I'm crazy. Because it's crazy that it actually makes the changes on this planet and saves us from being eaten up by these psychos. If you want to rebel, then you go in and become your unlimited potential and mind your own business. So when you take this non-surgical course, remember something. The practitioner that is out of their mind, because now your mind is just a flow. It's a beautiful river. It's just a flow. It's not anything in judgment. Am I getting it quick enough? Or will I get this? Everybody gets it. But most people lose it. And you may lose it when you go home. Keep your mouth quiet. And when you go to work on someone, because you are going to have the most powerful body work in the world. I'm telling you, you will. And you know what? Take it as arrogant, but you would if you don't believe in yourself. But go home, and when you do it, we call it a spot check. Jason, this is for you. Because you are not an overachiever. You just know that you have unlimited possibility, but I want you to strategize it properly. And when you are going to be, so many people are going to go, this is wrong, this is wrong. I'll tell you what I'll do. Have a seat here. You're going to start doing the wolf non-surgical on them, and you're only going to do it for 1 to 3 minutes. That's it. That's all you need to do. You know that now.
Yep.
And you're going to go, so that was just 1 to 3 minutes. If you came to see me and we did 40 minutes, because you always want to leave 10 minutes on either side. You're not going to work for an hour. You don't need to with this. And you're also going to make sure that when somebody comes, if it's a spinal treatment, you're going to do an hour and a half. You're going to do as long as you need to. You're also going to know that you want everybody to do a perfect day, and you want to explain to them why to do a perfect day, because if they did a perfect day, they wouldn't keep on searching for things. They would find the real thing, which is themselves. So when you do spot checks on people, guess what? 3 out of 4 people are going to come to you. Nobody's giving them that kind of relief in 1 to 3 minutes. I don't care what the problem is. It could be a tumor, fibroid, and you can actually just work around the fibroid and just give them relief, because the fibroids are continually growing what we call roots, arms, legs. They're called feeders. So go in and just dismantle a couple of them and they're going to feel freedom, because you've got the tumor, then you've got the legs coming off of it, and we want to disconnect those feeders. And when you disconnect the feeder, they're going to feel freedom right away. So understand, when you do this work, massage therapy, what were you taught? What was I taught? What was everybody taught? Full body massage. Do you want to know something? The massage therapy boards in the world have no brain. You are going to work on someone's body, their whole body, in 1 hour, maybe 40 minutes. What did you accomplish? Absolutely nothing. Say it again. Oh no, I made them feel better about themselves. I did reduce their pain. But unless you're, what did I say? There's so much fear in this world that people are dumping adrenaline, cortisol, histamine, and when they do that, that's the super glue that's causing the fibers to come together. Guys, there's nothing else. Pancreatitis, arthritis, sinusitis, migraines, fibroid, endometriosis, bladder infection, prostate inflammation, bunions, corns, sore throat on a continual basis, degeneration of it's all of these fibers being stuck together, not getting their circulation. We already talked about it. From inflammation to cancer, it's losing oxygen and circulation, and one just is a bigger degree than the other. That's it. The world's not meant to heal. The world is meant to be druggies, and we know that. We're not going to get into that. So when you work on someone, you're not looking how much to do. What did I teach you? It's issues in the tissues, but the secrets are in the joints. The secrets are in the joints. So the chiropractors and the osteopaths, they kind of got it right. But guess what? They're trying to manipulate the joint, and if you try to manipulate a joint, and guess what? When you've got scar tissue going on, crystallization or calcification, your tendons and your ligaments and your muscles are getting thinner and they're getting shorter. Do you know another therapy like Wolf Non-Surgical that can bring back somebody that's 60, 70, and 80 years old, their complete height when they were 20? You didn't lose bone calcium. The cartilage in between, which are called discs in your vertebrae, dehydrated from inflammation from pooping in your pelvis, because the main surgery that's done is in your low back. And that's because you're pooping in your pelvis, and infection creates inflammation. Inflammation creates scar tissue formation, calcification, mutation, crystallization. There's no such thing as a slip disc. What's it, in your underwear? They just use these words so that you can't help yourself. All it is just an inflamed cartilage. And guess what? If you could be bulging, you could have a bulging disc, and they say that you got to go in for surgery tomorrow, and I'll spend 20 minutes and you'll cancel that surgery. 99 out of 100 surgeries can be canceled, and you know what? Everybody's going to say that's arrogant and it's too far out of the box. Well, guess what? Any surgeons out there, all right? Come and get me. So the reality is this, is that every time that you surgeons go in and you do chop shop, oh, I went to see my specialist today. What'd he say? Well, my specialist said that, guess what? He doesn't want to do surgery yet, but he'll keep an eye on it because he lives under the bed. Okay? And he's going to keep an eye on it because when it gets bad enough, he's going to go in and chop your hip out, chop part of your spine out, take part of your organ out. Because what does a surgeon do? So you're going to ask a surgeon that has never studied health and doesn't know that, guess what? Does anybody know that you could be down to 5% cartilage in your hip and you can regenerate completely? Nobody told you that, did they? Oh, I'm bone on bone. First of all, you're not bone on bone. You took the calcium from the knee, bones, and it went in to the cartilage, the tendons, and the muscles in the area to buffer down the acidity and the inflammation, to try to stop the knee from rotting out. So now it's calcified. We can get the calcium back into the bones with calcium ion therapy. Go to the Doc of Detox library and watch any video. The science is all there. We can melt the crystallization with DMSO and essential oils, and we can pull the scar tissue apart, because once you pull the scar tissue apart, you're back to getting the flow of spirit, oxygen, and lymph instantaneously. One treatment, a person can come in, walk down the stairs with a cane, hang on to the banner, and in one treatment, I didn't say all of them, you'll find your patients going, here's the cane, and they don't even use the rail to walk up the stairs. So one little knot right in the side here, one little knot on the SI joints, one little knot in the hip, one little knot right here, or up under here, or up under here, will cause severe pain that will knock you down. They will drug you up. They will cut off the pain, the inflammation, that you don't feel it, because that's gut-brain disconnection, even though, guess what, guys? There's still a fire going on. So when I take my anti-inflammatories, when I take my anti-pain medication, I don't feel a thing. They disconnected your brain from symptoms. These aren't diseases, and these are symptoms because your body's crying out that you're on your way to mutation. You're on your way to getting surgery, and surgery causes more scar tissue than anything else. How you doing, Grandpa? Never felt better. You know what? I'm going to be 68 years old, and I don't want to be in the condition of you 50-year-olds or you 40-year-olds. Because guess what? I was created by God, and I'm going to take it all back. They took it away, I'm bringing it back. I'm bringing it back. Heart disease, scar tissue. Lung disease, scar tissue. COPD is just mucus congestion that you're filling up the old alveoli and they're inflaming, and now you've got scar tissue. There's no such thing as COPD. There's no such thing as arthritis. That just means inflammation of the joint. There's no such thing as colitis. That's just your good bacteria gone bad. Now it's called endotoxin, and it's inflaming you. They're lying to you. How would it feel if you were born of the Rockefellers and Rothschilds, and as you were growing up, you were at the table, and they were going, we're going to be starting a war. What are we calling it? Well, First World War, Second World War, Vietnam War, call it whatever you want. Well, we need to start a war because we need to get the banking, and we need to get the mineral rights, and we need to control those people. Wow, my daddy's powerful. Yeah, and those are just ants, honey. What does that mean, Daddy? Allowing negative thoughts. When we give negative thoughts and they take them in, then they become our slaves. We are the gods of this world. So now what's that got to do with scar tissue issue? Well, that's what it's got to do with it. If you were in harmony with that which created the universe, if you were in harmony with nature, if you understood, and if every practitioner out there understood that all they're dealing with is crystallization, calcification, and scar tissue formation. Jason.
I
was long-winded.
Yeah, going back about 15, 20 minutes. These couple of nights, I've been waking up at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning and having a hard time getting back to sleep. And I come from a heritage of security and toe your line. And I'm terrible at towing the line, as you guys already know. But handfuls of different motivational speakers. So I'm up in the middle of the night fearing, like, am I going to be successful at this? Stop. Fear. False evidence appearing real.
On him? Okay, thank you.
And I stop myself every night. Stop. False evidence appearing real. Yes, you're going to be successful. I know I'm going to be successful, but it's that little voice in the back of my head that's getting quieter and quieter. I was up at 1:30 this morning, couldn't sleep. I had no fear.
No, 1 second. He's not saying it right. He was up again because guess what? His faith was calling on him and said, listen, Jason, let's have a talk, and it needs to be really quiet because I only need to whisper this because it's the truth.
Totally.
Yes.
Totally. And that was actually a lot.
I was up at 2:35 because I always want to check why. I got up at 2:35 and I sat there until 4 this morning. Then I usually get up at 6 and I got up at 6:45. Yeah, I had a long conversation last night.
Yeah. Same.
And guess what? There was only one person speaking. Not one person. Sometimes we need to just listen, and
Totally.
that's it, and just be so quiet. Because when something is going off and yelling at you, it's only because you're going off the cliff, but nothing yells at you on a continual basis called unconditional love. Jason?
Totally. And that's what I was doing. I was giving all the praise to my God.
Yes.
Thank you for bringing me here. Thank you for gifting Dr. Wolf with this huge blessing that he's sharing with all of us. Thank you for allowing me to receive it. And thank you for setting up the rest of my life for me.
How does it feel that you are going to help be the hero for your wife? How did it feel? And guys, this is not about me, please, get this. But we had it stolen from us. She wanted to marry a white knight. She wanted a hero. You were given a manual and instructions that fell off the cliff a long time ago. I haven't given him any instructions. All he did was tap into what he already knew. Everybody here, I haven't given you the gift. You were always the gift. You just didn't know how to unwrap it. Right now, how does it make you feel that there are things going on with your wife and you're going to bring on the thunder? And there's things going on with you that your wife knows she's going to bring on the thunder. And now when I say the thunder, we're talking about a lightning bolt, okay, of electricity in our lives.
And we talked about that a little bit last night.
About a lightning bolt?
No, about being able to work on each other and help each other through this.
Yeah.
And how incredible and how blessed we are that we're both here together doing this. That this is going to give us an advantage that a lot of others aren't going to have.
Well, they will because of you.
Hopefully.
Well,
any of the husbands out there that are watching this, get your ass to one of these things. It's not the same.
Absolutely.
It's totally not the same.
And
hold on. If and for me, it was about the money. We both don't have to go to the same course for you to bring it back to me and share it with me and teach me. I'll learn from you. I don't learn from her. I'll listen to some of it, the stuff I want to listen to. She's been preaching this stuff to me for 10 years. It's probably been my fault that we haven't come here sooner. And I own that. But for all of those husbands out there that committed themselves in their eyes to let their wives come here and do this course so that they can be the better person, you got to get your own shit together. And I know you think you do, because I thought I did too. And like I said, I've gone to multiple motivational speakers, been to Tony Robbins. I've been to some big names. I'm not trying to down them, but this blew all of that out of the water.
This is motivational speaking on. This course is motivational speaking on steroids, like 100,000 times bigger than anything I've ever read, anything I've ever listened to, and I've been on this journey looking for this for years.
This isn't even motivational speaking. This is self-healing.
Thank you. I'm not a motivational speaker.
No. But I went to the motivational speakers trying to become a better person. Rah, 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 jump around, clap your hands.
We do that every morning.
We do that here every morning. That's to get everybody woken up who hasn't been up since 1:30. But when we sit down and are learning from him, I don't think there's a single one of us that can say your life hasn't been changed here.
No.
And for the men back home, he's going on a world tour. You got no excuses. There's going to be something near you, a hell of a lot closer in some people's cases than Ixtapa. So get your shit together, figure it out. You got time to get to the next course and sign up for it. But you got to do it. You got to do it if you want to keep your wife, because she's way ahead of you now. That's part of why I'm glad I'm here too. Just tell them to watch whatever we're doing here right now, I guess. But I'm dead serious that I'm up in the middle of the night now freaking out because our house is too small. I got to figure out how we're going to buy a new house. Wait, God's got a recession happening for us. Thank you, God. You're setting this all up for us. He's taking care of us. I have to slow down and allow him to lead us, not me lead him.
Okay, and that's how I live my life. I don't know if you notice it. It all just falls into place. I said to Lori, kept getting up at night, world tour. How am I going to handle the clinic? No. Then came after that, shut her down, because you need to do this world tour and then open up a better one. You need to rewrite yourself. Always be prepared to rewrite the story. Every story has to be rewritten. Your personality must change. If your personality doesn't change, your reality won't change. All right? I just want to close on this. And there's a bunch of other people, so I'm not just praising him for being what he said, or the way he said it, or because he's a man. But do you know why I go on? Because of people like Jason. That's why we keep going. That's why Lori and I keep going. When somebody totally says, I'm buying into this total love, honor, and respect for myself, that's my fuel. That's my fuel. I think you all know how I feel about being praised. I don't want that. And it's not because of the game I'm playing with you. If you don't learn to circulate the praise 100% in this course for yourself and your Creator, you're not going to make it when you leave the tent. I want to thank Dr. Wolf. I wouldn't be alive. That person isn't going to be. I want to thank myself for getting here because I am the hero that I seek, and I am going to tap into my God spot in my heart, and I'm never leaving there again. Let's take a 5-minute break. Thank you.